Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here on the show. Before I do the Arkansas Duke recap, I want to do a news video here, so let's get right into it. So we're starting with the NFL. I'm also going to talk about a little wrestling, NBA, and NASCAR. There's nothing with MLB. So we're just going to do those four for today. So let's start. So Amon-Ra St. Brown suffered an ankle injury today. Dan Campbell further to comment on the injury. He talked about, I don't feel like this is long term, so that's the good news, but that doesn't mean it won't be here for, it could be a week or two maybe if we're lucky, and they play the Cowboys next Thursday. So but missing Dallas on a short week is very, very possible. That's a huge news for Detroit if he can't go in that game. And my Cowboys are on a run right now, and they might beat Detroit. Eagles wide receiver Devontae Smith, he's off the injury report and good to go Friday versus the Bears. Lane Johnson and Xavier Gibson did not practice. Saquon Barkley full practice, so did Landon Dickerson and Reed Blankenship. So full participant. So good to see Devontae Smith fully healthy, ready to play. The Bears, they activated defensive backs Jalen Johnson and Kyler Gordon from injured reserve, and are both expected to play Friday versus the Eagles, which good. Both these teams really, for the most part, as fully healthy as they can be, is really good news, because that could be a really damn good football game tomorrow. Bears, Eagles. And really good for the Bears to get their two starting corners back from injured reserve. So I'm glad these players are coming back. But there were some Bears ruled out. They ruled out 3 linebackers for Friday's game versus the Eagles. T.J. Edwards, Ruben Hypolite, and the second, and Noah Sewell are out. Man, they're going to be calling dudes from the stands to play linebacker. Edmonds is on the IR too. But yeah, there's some news with the Bears. Aaron Rodgers' wrist was a full participant in today's practice. First time since the fracture he's been a full participant. So Mike Tomlin did have great optimism, and it looks like Aaron Rodgers will play. The Giants say QB Jackson Dart has cleared the concussion protocol, so looks like he might play this week on Monday Night Football against the New England Patriots. I mean, I just don't know if it's worth playing, honestly, from all the injuries all the concussions he's suffered. But if he wants to play, let him play, man. Vikings signed QB Desmond Ridder to their practice squad, which is interesting. Nothing from JP Football. So from Rappaport, with J.J. McCarthy in the concussion protocol, they signed Desmond Ridder to the practice squad, maybe to be their starter. Oh man! So from NFL Game Day Morning, the Cowboys, they want to bring George Pickens back for 2026 and beyond, while Jahmyr Gibbs could be the next Detroit star to get a huge deal. They're expected to sign him to a contract extension this offseason, which I think will happen, obviously. Can't let him go. Colts quarterback Daniel Jones, who has been dealing with a lower leg injury, suffered a fracture in his fibula, sources say. Jones was a full participant today, and one source said, quote, he looked good. Jones will continue to try and play through it. Toughness never questioned. How on earth are you a full participant in anything with a fractured fibula? I don't see how he can play, man. There's no way he can play with that. There's absolutely no way. Means how tough he is, but another person who knows Daniel Jones well said this is not an injury he's concerned about. How do you fracture your fibula and be like, nah, I ain't concerned about it? He didn't look as fluid as normal. And that little practice clip I saw, so I don't know, man. We'll see with him, and if it affects him going forward. So let's get into some wrestling here. So get a little bit from WrestleOps, then we'll go to Culture Hall where there's really more news. So let's get right into it. So Survivor Series War Games 2025 per WrestleTix. Wait for fucking YouTube notification, no way. has now surpassed 41,000 tickets distributed. So 41,000 tickets for Survivor Series. Look, it's got momentum because they put Roman, Cena, and Brock on the same show to get results like this. That's why they have the momentum right now. It's because of Cena, Brock, Roman, and others. It's the only reason it has 40,000 tickets, and it has momentum right now. I'm afraid after War Games, I'm afraid they'll lose any momentum they have, which I hope they don't, because they kind of have some right now, but we'll see. But yeah, that's one little thing from Wrestling Ops. Let's move on to Cultaholic. So, Aleister Black explained why he didn't end up being Randy Orton's surprise opponent at WrestleMania 41. They were basically toying with a bunch of ideas. I mean, I would have liked to see WrestleMania, but he still came back anyway, so it is what it is. CM Punk believes he would have been the perfect final opponent for John Cena. Perfect probably would have been me. I mean, maybe. We'll like to see that one last time, but technically kind of saw it in the Elimination Chamber. So, Lacey Evans responded to Becky Lynch's comments that going from the main event of WrestleMania 35 to working with her was terrible. She tweeted, "Don't hate the player, hate the game. The only person who cried more than you was the baby I had on my hip while taking all the opportunities. If when I come back." Yeah, you ain't coming back. You will still do nothing but gently shake my hand and say how cute my little family is backstage. She lacks comprehension skills, but I'm not surprised. If and when I come back. Yeah, as if they would hire you. No one cares. So, they fairly expect to secure a U.S. TV deal for AAA, quote, fairly soon. I've been given the impression that they expect that there will be such a deal somewhere fairly soon in the U.S. market. Going down through here, Full Gear likely drew AEW's best pay-per-view buy since All in Texas. Source Wrestling Observer. So WWE are planning to heavily tease what the WrestleMania 42 main event will be in the men's War Games match at Survivor Series. I mean, it was pretty obvious. If the heels lose, just about everyone except Logan and Brock lose all credibility here. But I felt this kind of obvious. This is going to set up for WrestleMania. But I feel like it's going to be Roman versus Punk for the world title. Cody versus Roman feels like a complete story and doesn't need to be revisited. The story for Punk and Roman are already there. You don't need to do Roman and Cody again. That's a complete story. I feel like they're going to set up Roman and Punk. But if they do Cody and Roman, it would be predictable. So, I want a fresh matchup, whether it's maybe Punk and Lesnar, Roman Punk, something. We don't need something fresh, man. Excuse me. Andrade El Idolos. Attorneys are in talks with WWE over ending its one-year non-compete clause early, and the two sides are, quote, already reaching an agreement. Chelsea Green says advice from John Cena is game-changing. No shit. So, this was something, So, Vince McMahon wanted Vladimir Putin to attend a WWE event. My lord. That's, I don't remember that segment at all. It was something with Rusev. Mark Henry doesn't feel that we should, quote, rush Javon Evans, as he will be in his championship era in about 15 years. Apparently you need to have already slowed and lost your in-ring explosiveness before you are main event ready, according to Mark Henry. Why does it people need to be like 40 years old before they win a championship? I mean, hell, Randy Orton won a championship at what, like 20? Like, Penta gave an update following his injury. So I don't think it'll be anything that'll keep him out for that long. John Cena announced the Iron Survivor competitors at the NXT deadline in the women's match. So Roka, Lola Vice, Kalani Jordan, Jordan Grace, and Kendall Gray. In the men's match, Javon Evans, Leon Slater, Dion Lennox, I Believe in Joe Hendry, and Miles Bourne. And that's all the news there for wrestling. So let's talk about some of that National Basketball Association. So Thunder All-NBA guard, Jalen Williams, J-Dub, is off the injury report and he will make his season debut against the Phoenix Suns on Friday night in OKC, multiple sources tell ESPN. He recovered from wrist surgery after playing through a torn ligament in the 2025 title run. So happy Thanksgiving to the Thunder, I guess. So it'll probably be a steady progression. You know, I don't know. Will he be on a minute restriction? I don't know. Steph Curry, the Warriors anticipate him to miss around a week or a little more with a quad contusion suffered Wednesday night. He's believed to have avoided any serious issues. Return will depend on how quad responds to treatment, so out for a week. Oh, God. Landry Shamet will be reevaluated in 4 weeks. New York Knicks guard with a right shoulder sprain. He's been one of the league's top shooters from 3 before he sustained that shoulder injury. So that's all from Shams. So Anthony Davis could return on Friday in Los Angeles against the Lakers, depending on how he responded to practice. Of course. Centers expected to be available on the market. Trade market include Nick Claxton, Robert Williams III, Nick Richards, Jonathan Isaac, Yusuf Nurkic. Man, the NBA big man market sure isn't great if Yusuf Nurkic is a name mentioned. Kawhi says the Clippers need more talent. DeMontis Sabonis has been frustrated in his role in the Kings' new offense. The Minnesota Timberwolves are looking to upgrade at the point guard position. The Bucks are showing some interest in Zach LaVine. So a little bit of news right there from NBA Central. Let's move on to a little bit of NASCAR. Nothing from Bob Parkers, but found some other stuff to mention. So there's one little thing here with NASCAR. Corey LaJoy lost his Cup Series ride, then found something to turn the ship back. Jordan Bianchi sat down with him and talked about the challenges he faced in 2025, how his outlook has evolved and what's ahead. You know, the 5 stages of grief. I feel like I'm the last stage of that now. The fan base turned on me for whatever reason, not wanting to race in front of 12 people. Maybe might have had something to do with that. You say in those comments, and then you race in front of 12 people. My Lord. Saying you don't want to race in front of 12 fans and switching and jumping in a truck, soon as I guess is turning the ship around, blaming fans. But typical Corey LaJoy. Don't have any sympathy. Disrespected the Xfinity Truck Series and decided that was his only option after getting booted from his ride. Most arrogant NASCAR driver ever, it feels like. The Fourth Circuit Court might not have the last word either, as the losing party could then petition the U.S. Supreme Court. It's not beyond the realm of possibility. The sport's antitrust dispute, like so many others in recent years, the last several years with NASCAR, we'll see whenever this shit's done. NASCAR, both Wade Moore, president, and Joe Farr, owner of Team SPS. I'm guessing this is the Sigma team. They were the biggest takeaways. They were on O'Reilly, ARC, and late model races. But that's really the news there, so leave a like, comment, subscribe for more. Peace.